Hello, this is my recording for the 2018 fall practicum. This is my very first one. This is going to be for the week of August 26th to the September 1st. I'm doing this on a Friday of August 31st. Um, this past Tuesday, I met with Pastor Derek of Gateway Student Ministry for the very first time. It was the 28th. It was our very first time meeting for the practicum, but we had already met each other at a previous Gateway student event, and we were able to become more intimate in conversation. Instead of having to focus on the students, we were able to have a real conversation between each other. It was interesting to know that he already had met me and known who I was. Good, you can see both my eyes now. So that was really cool. Just going right into the presentation part of overview activities, experiences, and all those things. There were a few concerns. He wasn't completely sure of what I would be doing. He thought that I would be there most of the weeks for students. It may not have been communicated to him or just misunderstood that it'd be 3 to 5 times. And he knew that I'd be meeting with him every single week. We decided 2:30 every Tuesday, and that would just be to have our oversight meeting, what would be going on, and anything I needed to do for the week. He also did not know what the assignment was at all. He was just really curious. He's like, "Do you make that? Do I make that? Was that supposed to be given to me by TKU?" So he had no idea what that was. One thing that he was excited about though was that I was a Gateway student volunteer at the NRH campus. For whatever reason, the NRH campus is doing a lot of things and really leading the way. I knew that they had the largest campus, even out of South, even considering South Lake size, on a weekend. But to say that NRH had the largest students, I knew that. But for whatever reason, Pastor Kyle is just doing amazing things. So he was excited to be able to have someone from that team come over here, and he really wanted my insight for whenever we do talk to each other. Like, what do I see in his team? What are some really awesome things they're doing? What are some negative things they're doing? And also some things I can bring over to NRH. So those are some really cool things. Uh, the main part of our conversation was just really me asking random topic questions. What are some of the demographics? What are some specific problems? How long have you worked at Gateway students? Just all these really cool things. And he was able to answer a lot of those questions. Uh, he wanted to know like what my strengths were, and I told him the top five that I only knew. However, there was one question that took up a majority of that section, and that was how do you deal with your problem students at Gateway students? And I kind of knew what the answer would be because it's very common in today's church leadership, saying, well, we don't use the word problem. We see them as opportunities, and I knew that was coming. But he also surprised me because he said that whenever those students that are in those sections that are always just like coming together, just so they won't hear the message because they don't want to, they don't want to be there. Um, he says we're going towards a certain direction in our culture, and if they don't want to do that, then we tell them this is where we're going. We would like you to join us. And he said if you have to, we're gonna have to isolate them. And that was really cool to hear that because he was able to put it in such a way that was a bit more poetic and grace filled than other versions I've heard. And instead of making it sound super spiritual and really fake, he was actually able to communicate it very genuinely. He was very much an open book to whatever I needed. He said, please don't be afraid to ask any questions or ask why do we do those kind of things. And it was an overall good experience. And that's just all I have for right now. Thanks. See you next week.